Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Shailaabhijanamburashashram Shri Krishna Tatatmajam Shri Shailanve Devanatha Sudhiya Praptagamanta Dvayam Padabje Nasimhatate Guroho Nyastatma Raksha Bharam Vidvadvrinda Chakora Chandiramaham Ramanujaryam Shraye Shri Ranga Sudha Mathu Samaswadayantam Shri Ranga Mahishi Padapankajatmajam Sulabhashrayam Sada Moda Siddham Adbhutam Bhajeham Gurum Tam Ranganatha Priyam Sukhasanastham Hridayabjapithe Chinmudraya Alankata Pani Padmam Shubho Pavitam Vimalodhvapundram Namami Rangam Gurum Antarange Namami Yoga Samrajni Vijayam Vijayapradam Srirangardhasanasinam Karunam Mamamataram Guru Rupa Paranjyotihi Jyoti Rupa Guru Paraha Ajnana Mandiram Hyetate Guru Vijnana Mandiram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhete Girim Vitkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yontah Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhila Shaktidhara Swadhamna Anyamscha Hastacharana Shravanatvagadine Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Jaityashrita Santrasa Dhvanta Vidhvamsanodayah Prabhavan Sitaya Devya Paramam Yoma Bhaskaraha Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadamyetat Vratam Mama Vedavetya Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharatatmaje Vedah Pracheta Sadasite Sakshad Ramayanaatmana Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus will commence our session today. All right. So for the benefit of those who missed the last class, fortunately or unfortunately, we started the Sundara Kandam in the last session. So it's customary to tell the first sloka twice, indicating the commencement of Sundara Kandam. So that is something I will do right now. This is with a strong assumption again. Let me repeat it, is that the Sundara Kandam Parampara is such that if you start with the first slokam, you better end it with the Mangala slokam that comes towards the end of Sundara Kandam. Therefore, please keep this in your mind. Unless there is an emergency in terms of health, if all else is something that you can control so that you can spare this 45 minutes or 1 hour during every week, that will be beneficial to everybody. And it's very, very important that as far as possible, if you are attending the first slokam, you should continue all the way up to the end. So that is when it will become a complete comprehensive way of relishing Sundara Kandam. And we also respect the tradition. So that is the essential request here. So just in case if somebody thinks that, no, I may lose Shraddha in the middle, and then you are given complete freedom right now. You can choose to be on your own. But if you intend to continue further, please ensure that you attend all the sessions. And of course, as I mentioned, if there is a matter of emergency, that's an exception. Okay. Om Tato Ravananitayaha. Those who did not attend the last session, they can repeat this maybe on mute. Okay. Tato Ravananitayaha सीताया शत्रुकर्षणः येष पदमन्वेष्टुम् चारणाचरिते पथि अतो रावणनीतायाः सीताया शत्रुकर्षणः येष पदमन्वेष्टुम् चारणाचरिते पथि. Very quick summary of what we discussed in the last session is that Sri Anjaneya, he makes a resolve to now cross over and reach Lanka, Sri Lanka, and he is very, very curious about identifying where Sita Mata is and how he can get there, as well as probably how initially in his mind he is thinking he can bring her back as well. And the activity that he has undertaken is Dushkaram Nishpratidvandvam. There is nothing equal in challenges. So we saw how it is important that to overcome any problem, the very first step is not to escape from the problem, but to resolve that I will overcome the problem. That's the first lesson we learn from Lord Hanuman. For the simple reason that problems is the nature of life, and there is nobody without problems. In fact, Lord Rama himself, an Avatara Purusha, is going through this. So we should understand that aspect here. And we saw how Vijan Vitrasen Bhiman Urasa Padapan Haran, how Hanuman, with his renewed vigor, that he figured out who he actually is, his strength from the last chapter of Kishkinda Kandam. He is now ready to display his power. And there is a beautiful description of the Nilalohita Manjishta Patravarnai Sita Sitaihi, how the Mahendragiri Parvatam is rich in minerals of all types. It has so many different types of trees with different colors, different flowers there. Swabhavitai Chitraihi Dhatubhi Samalankritam Kamarupi Viravishtam Abhikshnam Saparichadaihi. There are also people who are living in that Mahendragiri who are Kamarupis. They can take any form that they want, which means they are Siddha Purushas. Right? Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvaihi Devakalpaischa Pannagaihi. So there are people coming from the clan of Yakshas, Kinnaras, and Gandharvas. They essentially resemble the gods, Devas and Nagas. That is what we saw. And Tishthan Kapivaras Tatra Harade Naga Iva Bhavavo. The way that Lord Hanuman stood amidst all these people, there are two similes that Valmiki gives. The very first one is that he resembles Vrishabham, isn't it? Samudagra Shiro Grivo Gavam Patiriva Babhav. That is in the second sloka of this chapter. So he resembled a Vrishabha among cows with its neck extended, which basically means he is, the real men among the folks, as we say, or a Purushottama. Likewise, the other analogy they are giving here, Valmiki is giving, is Tishthan Kapivarastatra Hradenaga Iva Babhav. In the Hradamna center, in the very center, he is resembling an Naga. Naga is another name for elephant. Naga Iva Babhav. He is resembling an elephant. And there are, again, beautiful offshoots of Valmiki Ramayanam. Kambaramayana, for example, where the poetic aspects of these are brought out probably in a little bit more grandeur, that anybody who is interested in Kavitvam can actually enjoy those poems. As we all know, there are Navarasas, isn't it? What are the Navarasas? 9 types of flavors or rasam that you can enjoy in general in life. And a Kavi is the best person who can bring it to life. So the Navarasas, for your record, is Sringaram is the very first rasam. Then Veeram. Then Adbhutam. Shringara rasam. There is a slokam. I am tempted to recite it, if that's okay. Shringaram Chitinandana Viharane. This is actually relating the Navarasas to each of the events in Srimad Ramayanam. Kshitinandana is Kriti is Bhumi. The daughter of Bhumi, Kshitinandana, is Sita. And Sri Ramachandra is doing Viharam with Sita Pirati. That is, he is enjoying pleasures with Sita Mata. That is Sringara Rasam. And that is described by Sri Valmiki in this entire Srimad Ramayanam at different places. Okay. Veeram Dhanur Bhanjane, that is when he displayed his valor, is when he did the Dhanur Bhanjanam. He essentially took the Shiva Dhanush and showed who he is, isn't it? None of the other kings, including Ravana, could even carry the Shiva Dhanush in their hands. Then the next rasam is Adbhutam. Adbhuta rasam sindhau giristhapane. Sindhau giristhapane. That is when the army of Vanaras, including all the chiefs, they built the bridge to cross over to Sri Lanka. That is an Adbhuta rasam. That is, it was never done probably before. It was a feat of great engineering, hard work, etc. Then comes Hasyam, right? Hasyam is in Hasyam Surpanaka Mukhe Hasyam. The fact that Lakshmana, he cut off Surpanaka's nose. That is when apparently all the 3 of them had a hearty laughter there. Okay, that is, this lady is desiring Sri Ramachandra as her lover, right? That is the Hasya rasam. Then comes Karunyam. Karunyam, the Lord shows compassion to the Anils. He displays, of course, compassion to many other jivas, but the one that is taken by this slokam is squirrels. Right? How he shows that, oh, even this small anil is able to think of doing kainkaryam. It may be lifting a microgram of a small stone, but displaying that aspect of kainkaryam to the Lord, he loves it and he displays compassion there. Then there are other rasams like bhayam, and bhayam aghe is what this particular Kavi says. Agamnaka papam. We should be afraid of committing sins. Bhibhatsam is another rasam that is related to bhayam, right? Both of these are related to each other. And then comes Raudram. Raudram Ravana Bhanjane. Raudram Ravana Bhanjane. Raudram. The way he displayed, Rama never displays Raudram. But the one point where he actually thunders or roars, that may this earth be without Rama or without Ravana. aramam va aravanam va bhavatu. That is the pledge he takes. And at that point, he shows who he is as a Rudra. Raudram, Ravana Bhanjane. And finally, Muni Jane Muni Jane. The Shantarasam is how you can display the aspect of peace, and that which comes from essentially having attained the greatest of all siddhis, that is Atma Siddhi. The moment Lord Rama is in the company of great munis like Bhargava Maharshi or Agastya Rishi or Vasishtha, he himself gets into that Shantarasam, right? So like this, there are Navarasas, and each of these rasas are enjoyed by various jivas. And a kavi is somebody who should ideally be well versed in displaying all these navarasas in ample manner. And the kavi will use certain words which will invoke those rasams. And why did I mention all of this? So in Srimad Valmiki Ramayanam, all these rasas are naturally embedded. Okay. But primarily, this is meant to be equivalent to one of the Vedas, Veda Vedya Pare Pumsi, Jate Dasharathatmaje, Veda Pracheta Sadasi, Sakshat Ramayanatma. This is supposed to be Veda itself, isn't it? So therefore, the primary end goal is that of attaining the Lord, but also the Chaturvida Purusharthas. So perhaps his focus was on this entire Charitra of Sri Ramachandra. There are other kavis who have enjoyed the other aspects. So in Kamba Ramayana, for example, the fact that we did discuss this towards the end of the last class is that that the Vidyadharas, they were smoked out, isn't it? Did we discuss that in the last class? I guess we did, isn't it? There are different types of people who live there. Plavanga Pravarai Dishtaha, Plavane Kritanischayaha, Vavurdhe Rama Vrudyartam, Samudraiva Parvasu. He decided that he will grow as big as possible to cross over the Samudram. Did we cover the 14th sloka in the last class? Anybody? No. So I think we ended with the 10th sloka. Is it? Did we end with 10th sloka? I think we ended with the 10th sloka. Okay, maybe I'm jumping the gun.
No, I think we ended with seventh shloka.
Oh, sir, I thought we had covered 10th.
No, it was only up to the Vidyadhara Kinnaras getting impacted.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, 10.
10, huh?
10.
Ah, yes. I remember. Anjalim Pramukha Kurvan.
Yes.
Pavanaya Atmane Tato hi Vavrde Gantum. Dakshino Dakshinam. We covered that sloka, I remember.
10. Yes.
Yeah, then 10th. Plavanga Pravarai Dishtaha. Plavane, I'm glad somebody is. There are people who are.
No, you told the books for follow because
Okay.
every book there is slight differences with
I have
regards
not yet.
to the numbering of shlokas and even the shlokas.
No. So there is a question here. What is the textbook syllabus that we follow from Anusha here? I have not yet mentioned that in the group. I will do that today positively. The one that I am following comes from the original Srimad Ramayanam by the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. It's called Bori. And their version was created several decades ago. And it is something which is published by, Kanchi Perival, Kanchi Madam, several years ago. So that is the actual original version where they have ensured that as far as possible, they will stick to the shlokas which are in tune with Valmiki's thinking. They have tried to remove shlokas, the words that perhaps do not suit the entire scheme of things. That is one thing I follow. The other one that is closest to it is the version by the Gorakhpur Press. Right? Anything commercial may have errors, but anything philanthropic may not, because the intent is pure. So Gorakhpur Press is the, they have versions of Srimad Valmiki Ramayanam. That is something we can adopt. Okay. And there, just like in GCSE, A levels and university, there is a student version, there is a teacher version. There are some teacher versions of books that I follow, which I don't want to confuse your cloudy out with. These are based on various Purvacharya's kritis, and that is meant for a deeper study. And the intent is to essentially interest you into something more exciting in life, right? Isn't it? So we don't want to get into too much of those details, but these two, I think, we can adopt for chanting, that is Parayanam, as well as going through our sessions here. Okay, is that okay? So in case you still find variations from what I say, you may mark it in your own textbook that you have. Okay. Okay. So where we ended last class was the fact that Lord Hanuman, he actually prays to Sasuryaya Mahendraya Pavanaya Swayambhuve Bhutebhyas Chanjalim Kritva Chakara Gamane Matim. Although he is a very powerful person, before he takes the leap, okay, we can't call it plunge. Plunge is downwards, isn't it? He's trying to leap. Before he takes the leap, he prays to Lord Surya, the first person. If you all remember, he is the one who he gulped first, isn't it? Hanuman, that Hanu or cheeks of Lord Hanuman came because he, in a very adventurous mode, he swallowed Surya Bhagavan himself. But Surya was the first person to bless him. Okay, perhaps with the reason that he, Appa in a Sandosh he blesses him. He's the first person to bless him. And Surya, of course, from a Tattvic perspective, he is the god of Jnanam and health, isn't it? And Tejas. And we should definitely worship him before we do anything. Then he prays to Mahendra, that is Lord Indra, who actually blessed him with the fact that, even Vajrayudham cannot do you anything. I give you that Vajrakayam, a body which can withstand. It is so strong that it can withstand any types of attacks on it. Pavanaya, his own father, right? And then Swayambhuve, Lord Brahma. And we briefly saw why that is required, isn't it? Brahma is the Lord of creation. And when you cross the ocean, you may see uncertainties from many different creatures. Telugulo ye puttalo ye pamu antam kada. Like there could be different types of snakes in different ant hills or snake hills. So to be aware of creation is important to know, oh, this is this type of creature. I need to counter it in this manner. And that Shakti, you will get it only from Lord Brahma, because he is the creator. So therefore he prays to Swayambhu, or the Lord Brahma. And then Bhutebhyas Chanjalim Kritva. He also prays to all the Bhutaganas, the attendants of Lord Shiva. And we saw how beautifully Valmiki expresses in 9th sloka who Hanuman is, isn't it? We saw why is he not praying to Lord Shiva. Anjaling Pramukha Kurvan Pavanaya Atmayone Tatohi Vaurdhe Gantum Dakshino Dakshinam Desham. So Dakshina is the word that Valmiki is using for Hanuman here. Dakshino Dakshinam Desham. So he decided to proceed in the direction of south, which is Dakshina. Who is he? He himself is Dakshina. And Dakshina is the name of Lord Shiva, isn't it? Dakshinamurti. The other meaning of Dakshaha is one who is very skillful. And Daksha also means, Dakshina also means one who is a granter of knowledge, right? And equanimity. That is the none other than Lord Shiva. So perhaps Valmiki is hinting who Hanuman is here. He's a Rudra avatar. So there may be another question. He has worshipped Brahma. He himself is Shiva. Where is Vishnu? The answer is that he is starting with Lord Rama's own Sankalpam. Right? He knows internally who Rama is. We will see that later in Sundarakandam. Okay. So therefore, he knows that I have the blessings of Rama. So Plavanga Pravarai Drishtaha Plavane Krita Nischayaha Vavardhe Rama Vrithyartam Samudraiva Parvasu. So then that is sloka 10, that's where we ended. Plavanga Pravarai Drishtaha, he was seen by various chieftains of the army, monkey army, and he resolved that I will cross over for two reasons. Vavardhe Rama Vrithyartam, he grew in size for Rama Vriddhi, that is, may welfare happen to Lord Ramachandra. And how did he grow? The Upamanam is Samudraiva Parvas. Just like how tides rise in Samudra during Parvakalam. Parvamnaka in the Amavasi Paurnamiki Parvakalam Solvom. There are high tides during these periods. Therefore, that is the Upamanam he is giving, that he grew in size. Okay, we'll start with sloka 11 now. Nishpramana Sharira San Lilangayushu Arnavam Bahubhyam Pidayamasa Charanabhyancha Parvatam. So the reason why I mentioned Navarasas is, as and when we get an opportunity, we'll take a sneak peek at what Kamban has mentioned in the Ramayana. Okay, in his version of Ramayana, it's a slightly more poetic way of putting things. Okay, so in this slokam, Nishpramana Sharira Sanya. Nishpramana Shariram, Pramaname, that which you cannot measure is called Nishpramana. Okay, that is the immeasurable size that he grew into. Lilanghaishuhu Arnavam. Okay, Langhanam Naka, to leap Adinartham. Okay, Lilanghaishu means I have resolved to cross over. So the person who is willing or wishing to cross over is called Lilanghaishu. Arnavam is ocean. Bahubhyam Pidayamasa. So he is now ready to cross. Yeah? So you think of the 100-meter race in Olympics. So you will see there is a certain pose that the athletes take, isn't it? They crouch like that, and they actually push their the back foot onto something, and then their shoulders and arms are kept in a certain manner. Their body is in certain angle. So we'll see similar description here. Bahubhyam Pidayamasa Charanabhyam cha Parvatam. So he is brushing the mountain with his arms and shoulders. Okay, imagine a huge figure, right? He is now resolved to cross, and he is now getting ready to, he's doing the warm-ups basically with both his shoulders as well as Charanabhyam. You can think that he is, trying to walk, right? And getting ready to cross. I'm so sorry. Sachachala alachalaschapi muhurtam kapipiditaha tarunam pushpitagranam sarvam pushpamashatayate. Sacha chala achalaschapi. So it's a nice play of words here. Sachachala achalaschapi muhurtam kapipiditaha. So now kapipiditaha is it is referring to the mountain. Kapi is monkey. Piditaha, that which is currently pressed down firmly by Hanuman. Kapipiditaha, isn't it? Both his arms as well as his feet. Who is that person who is pressed by this? Is the mountain. Mountain, another name for mountain is Achalaha. We all know that, isn't it? Sheshachalaha, Garudachalaha, Narayanachalaha, Terima, Ezhumalayan. Achalaha means that which does not move is called Achalaha. But what happened to it? Muhurtam, for a moment, he became a chala, meaning the mountain started to shake, an unshakable thing called achala. Muhurta is another name for moment. Okay, Nalla Shubha Muhurtam. Abdinaka, Nalla time Abdinartham. Muhurtam. So for a minute, for a moment, even the achala became a chala because of the way that the Lord Hanuman, he braced the mountain. Then what happened? Obviously, the mountain actually is very happy that I am part of this Muhurtam, isn't it? What more can be momentous for the mountain? What will it do? It will try to bless or show its happiness. How is the mountain showing its happiness? Tarunam pushpita granam sarvam pushpamashatayate. Tarunam means there are so many different types of trees, and all the trees are shaking and the flowers are automatically falling down from the mountain. Imagine such a beautiful scenario. Of course, in the next sloka onwards, you will see there are people who are terrified. But for a moment, see that the Kainkariam of the Lord is starting now. And the mountain also is so happy that it is showering its happiness on Lord Hanuman with all the different colorful flowers. Okay. Pushpam ashatayate, meaning it dropped down all the various flowers. Tena padapamuktena pushpaughena sugandhina sarvatas samrita shailaha babhau pushpamayo yatha. Padapa is another name for vriksha or trees. Okay. Padapamuktena pushpaughena. Pushpaugham adinaka, a bunch of flowers nartham. Right? One thing beautiful with the flowers is that they are not only appealing to the eyes, but they are also holders of fragrance, sugandham, isn't it? So the moment they fall off, the fragrance automatically is carried in the air. Tena padapamuktena pushpaughena sugandhina sarvatas samrita shailaha. The shaila is another name for mountain. Achala, shaila, these are all names, synonyms for mountain. Sheelam abdingra padathlende shailam abdingra. Sheelam is somebody who is maintaining equanimity. Sattame poda silent and paparanga. Adukapram pesu adu vera vishayam. And the Sheelatvam comes from Sheela Samadho. Only those who have experienced the ultimate bliss, they will be in a position to Apuryamanam achalam pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti advate tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakama kami. என்ன ஸ்லோகம் எங்கேருந்து வருது இது தெரியுமா? எక్కడి నుంచి பிக்கப் చేశాను? This sloka comes from
Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, it comes from Bhagavad Gita. Those of you who attended my earlier sessions will remember. Apuryamanam achalam pratishtham. Those who are in a position just like Samudra takes all the rivers into itself but remains calm with its gambhiryam, isn't it? Likewise, a wise man, right? Not Israeli name, a wise person, okay? Wisdom comes from experience, knowledge and bhakti. And such a wise person, tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. One who is able to absorb various types of desires and notices that they are not going to make me a chala purusha, right? They are like an achala. So a shailam is also an achalam because of this reason. Are you getting it? Slightly philosophical. Think it over. So samritaha shailaha, sarvatas samrita shailaha. The mountain is full of flowers all around it, abhinartha, not just in the place where Hanuman is standing. Pushpamayaha yatha. Tena chottama viryena pidyamanassa parvataha salilam samprasrusava madam mattaiva dipaha prasusrava. Sorry. Tena cha uttama viryena. Lord Hanuman is described as a Uttama Virya, one who has the highest order of valor, okay, valiant person. Pidyamanasa Parvataha, the Parvata is getting into a state of stress. யாரனா ஒருத்தர் நம்ம அமுக்கி கிள்ளி விட்டா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ఎవరైనా మనల్ని గిచ్చితే మనం ఏం చేస్తాం? అయ్యో అంటాం. But the Parvatam here is happy. He is expressing its happiness through different means. What is the second way of expressing its happiness? Salilam samprasusrava madam matta iva dvipaha. Just like dvipaha is something which moves with the two sorry, here it is the meaning, not with 2 feet. It is an elephant here. It obviously moves with 4 feet, right? So just like madam, matta ivadvipaha, when an elephant becomes, very, very, it gets into a state of so-called madam or rut, as we call it in English. Yeah? If it gets into that state, what happens? We say that on its kapalam, there will be a fluid that will effuse out, okay, water basically. Just like that, the mountain now is letting out different new streams because of the fact that Lord Hanuman is pressing that Mahendragiri mountain, okay. So one is, it is expressing its happiness through flowers, different colors, so it appeals to our eyes. It is also appealing to our nose. Now it will also appeal to our tongues. So all the senses are addressed in a proper manner now, okay. Different types of streams started to emerge out of the mountain. So that is the extreme pressure with which Hanuman is pressing the mountain. Pidyamanastu balina mahendrastena parvataha ritir nirvartayamasa kanchananjana rajatihi. Balina tena pidyamanaha mahendraha parvataha kanchananjana rajatihi ritihi nirvartayamasa. That's the prose version of this poem, unscrambled with the words in the right order, okay. So balina means, of course, by Lord Hanuman with all the balam. Pidyamanaha mahendra parvataha, having been pressed by Lord Hanuman. What did he do? Ritihi nirvartayamasa. Ritihi is a name for, again, streams or rivulets, you can call it. Nirvartayamasa, he started to form new streams. And what is the color did they have? Kanchana Anjana Rajatihi. They had 2 different colors. These streams that came out, one was silver in color, the other was gold in color. That is the form with which the rivers came out, new streams came out. Abhin artham illa. Itta tatvikama solnonnaka, we have resolved as a jiva to attain the divine Lord. And what happens is, inside our body, a new type of sangharshanam starts. With the power of Lord Hanuman, if we were to invoke our prana shakti, and if we start our journey towards the Lord, the very first thing to happen is that the horde of papa and punya that we have done through various janmas, they will emerge. They will try to distract us. And they will have different types of colors and impact on us. The very first thing is the fact that we have resolved to attain the Lord. The Lord himself will be pleased. And the blessings of flowers is in the form of sumanaha. That is, our mind will become into a state of happiness. Su is the best form of having the mind. Sumanaha. I believe there is somebody called Suman here. She will be happy, I think. So that is the first thing that happens. Then the punya and papa, right? They both start to distract us. And there are 2 types of punya. One is daivika punyam, the other is paitrika punyam. The punya that our forefathers have done, Same thing applies to Papa also. We don't know what Papa they have done, which we are going through in this life, right? So the punya that they have done will take us through what is known as a Pitru Margam. That is the Dakshinayana Margam. It is of the form of silver. Right? The Daivika Punyam, again, which pertains more to the Kshetram of Daivikam, that is the divine Kshetram. There are three Kshetrams, Adi Bhautikam, Adi Daivikam, and Adhyatmikam. So that will make us enjoy other types of pleasures. Okay. The Paitrika Punyam helps us to enjoy basically progeny. We will get children, they will beget children, and you will all be in a chaos. There will be one big group photograph with so many people in your house. That is the power of Paitrika Punyam. The Daivika Punyam, it will help you to get into different other types of pleasures. Okay. So that is perhaps what is gold and silver that is referred to here. This is what strikes my mind. Mumocha shila shailo vishala samana shilaha madhyame narchisha jushtaha dhumaraji rivanalaha. There are lots of dharma sukshmams which we will go through. That's the reason why going through Srimad Ramayanam, you don't need to go through any other dharma shastra. All of that will be covered. Okay, either in the causal form, or in the outcome form, or in the karma form. Okay. Mumocha cha shila shailaha. Now the third thing that he is going to release, this will cause problems now. Okay. So far it is good. As long as it is soft like flowers, as long as it is pleasant like streams, I am happy. But the moment some boulders fall on my head, okay, then trouble is starting, right? Now the Mahendragiri Parvatam, he has decided, I have done enough puja of Hanuman. Now let me worry about the other occupants of my mountain. Mumuvachacha shilaha shailaha. He started to release mumuvachana moksha. He is giving away for free. Buy one, get three free. Shilaha shailaha. Shailaha is mountain. He is now getting rid of big boulders. Okay. Vishalaha samana shilaha. So there are so many very big boulders within the mountain. You have seen, isn't it? Many mountains have huge boulders. So they started to now shake and fall. But what did they contain? See, this is the chemistry aspect. Samanaha shilaha. Samanaha means sulfur. Okay. So they apparently had sulfur. So obviously they will be yellow in color, isn't it? Am I correct?
Yes.
I will learn my chemistry correctly. Yeah. Samana shilaha. Madhyamena archisha jushtaha. So madhyamena archisha jushtaha. Archish abdinaka flame abdinartham. Agni. Kipper archish. Dhumaraji iva analaha. Archish means flame. Analaha is fire. So the fire has flame. There is another the upamanam that the Kavi is giving here. So these boulders are falling along with those that have sulfur. So what happens when a boulder full of sulfur is falling? Can you imagine? It will probably get powdered, and you will get a yellow kind of fume all around. There will be a blast, correct. So the first thing you will see is sprinkling of yellow in the atmosphere. And if somebody is smoking nearby, it will catch fire, isn't it? But there is going to be a description of fire also after this. But the first upamanam that he is giving, Kavi is giving is, imagine a flame in the middle and there is smoke all around. Okay. Madhyamena archisha jushta. Jushta means possessed with abdinartha. Dhumaraji iva analaha. Okay. Dhumaraji naka smoke. Smoke eppadi columns of smoke. Rajihi abdina columns nartham. So there are different columns of smoke that surround a flame in the middle. Okay. So that is how the mountain started to drop all the big boulders that it had with it. Girina pidyamanena pidyamanani sarvataha guhavishtani bhutani Vinedurvikritai Girina. Giri here is the mountain. Okay. So Hanuman's job is done. Okay. He pressed the mountain, pressed silent arka. His job is taken over by Mahendra Giri now. So the Kavi is saying Girina Pidyamanene. Okay. Pidyamanani Sarvataha. Isn't it? Huh? Oh, it's there in Harina. So there is a version here which says Harina. There is a version which says Girina. Both indeed seem to be proper here. Okay, Hari is another name for monkey, which is Kapi. Right? So Giri here is mountain. So perhaps here both will make sense. You know, the root cause is Hanuman. The secondary cause is the mountain here. Pidyamanene, Pidyamanani Sarvataha. There is a constant pressing of things happening everywhere. Guha Vishtani Bhutani. Vineduhu Vikritai Swaraihi. So now we are done with eyes, nose, and tongue. The next thing to come will be our ears. So now you get ready to listen to Vikritaihi Swaraihi, the various horrible types of voices that emanated from where? Guha Vishtani Bhutani. Those creatures which were hiding inside caves in the mountain, they started to shriek. They started to make some horrible voices. Okay. So imagine this situation now. So all these stones are falling, big boulders are falling. And because of that, you can think of a Jurassic Park type of noise emanating from everywhere, isn't it? All the creatures that were there inside caves, they started to, raise their ugly, horrible voices. So with this, we will conclude our session here today. Okay. If required, we will probably try to extend it by 15 more minutes. My current class session is 45 minutes. Is 45 minutes okay, or you want it to be extended to 1 hour? That's something we'll decide. We'll take a call and let you know. Okay, but we'll conclude today's session. Yeah. Jai Shri Ram.
Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Samsara Chirat Bhava Mukta Guru Charanambuja Krishna Krishna Sendriya Manasa Yamadevam Rakshasi Nijardayastham Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate
Kayena vacha manasa indriyairva buddhya atmana va prakrite svabhavate karomi yadhyat sakalam parasmai Shriman Narayana yeti samarpayami sarvam Shri Ramachandra Arpanastu. Have a great day and a week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghav.